What's going on, everybody? It's your man Louie T here with a brand new installment of the Louie T Network podcast. This will be a quick, abbreviated episode. Just want to get on the board with my picks. I didn't get to do this last week, and I was so upset. Now, I didn't do well last week anyway, so it didn't matter. But I do want to get on the board with my picks this week and tell you what I think and talk about some storylines going into the weekend. So without any further ado, you know what it is. You're locked into the Louie T Network podcast that starts now. The Louie T Network is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description. Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to the 475th installment of the Louie T Network podcast. I, of course, am your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. What is going on, beautiful people? It is Friday. We are on the precipice of the divisional round kicking off. On Saturday, you'll have your 2-1 seeds getting busy, and this is going to be a ton of fun. So today's going to be a quick show. I'm going to get in and out. All I've really come here to do is to bless you with my divisional round preview and predictions. We'll talk about some storylines that are attached to each game, and then we'll get out of here. I don't intend on keeping you long. It's Friday. I know you got shit to do, and so I'm not going to hold you up and stop you from doing what you need to do. So with that said, let's do it, right? Let me drop this gem on your melon. Open your mind, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with your man, Louie T double E. Let me open you up. Get you thinking a little bit. So, I don't know why that did that. That is not what it was supposed to do, but let's get to it anyway. Oh, I think I might have figured it out. See if we can just do it this way. No. Let's see. See if we can do it this way. Let's get rid of... Yeah, no. I don't know why. I must have... Let's go and fix it then. Let's fix it. Voila. There we go. That's what we're supposed to be doing today. Gem Droppin Session. All right. So, want to go through each of the postseason games quickly and for this weekend and talk about some storylines surrounding them as well. So, first game up, Chiefs are coming off the bye. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC postseason. They will be taking on the Houston Texans, who are the 4 seed in the AFC. The AFC, was chalk in the first round in Wild Card Weekend. All division winners took care of business. No wild card teams advanced to the second round. Thus, the 1 seed's playing the 4 seed, the 2 seed is playing the 3 seed. So we'll get to those 2 contests here in a bit. But we'll start with Chiefs hosting the Texans. That is your 4:30 game on Saturday. Texans are roughly 9-point underdogs or so in that game. Rightfully so. I think of the 3 games this weekend, that is the one that is the least interesting to me. Because while I don't anticipate the Rams beating the Eagles, I think they have a shot. I don't think the Texans have a chance to beat the Chiefs. Now, I could be wrong about that. Obviously, when the 2 teams played earlier this season, it was a close game for much of the contest until it got away from the Texans late. But ultimately, the Chiefs are the better team here. And I think with the time that they've had off, I expect them to come out guns a-blazing. The Texans, they just haven't been right since all of the injuries have really took effect. Now Joe Mixon is dealing with an ankle injury, so he's not 100%. Even if he plays in this game, they can't win without Joe Mixon being a huge part of the outcome. I just don't see how the Texans go into Arrowhead and win this game. they don't factor into the AFC picture, if you ask me. Not now. Not after all the injuries have decimated them and reduced them to a mere almost mere background noise in the AFC. Remember, in the offseason, we were saying, hey, are the Texans the biggest threat to the Chiefs after all the moves that were made? And early in the season, you could make a case that maybe they were. But since all the injuries have taken effect, Stroud has kind of regressed a bit. I didn't think he was super sharp in the game on Saturday last week, even though it was a winning performance. And he hasn't won on the road as a playoff quarterback. And he's only had one chance now, but he's 2-1 in the postseason. Both wins coming at home in Wild Card Weekend. Last year, they went on the road to Baltimore, didn't fare very well. I see the same thing kind of occurring now. The good thing is they got some experience under their belt, and we'll see what transpires in this game. But the Chiefs are very beatable, right? And so the storyline in this game, or storylines, is can CJ Stroud break through, right? Been to this round before. Can he upset the Chiefs, upset the apple cart, if you will? Chiefs' super storyline is clearly the quest for the three-peat, the all-elusive NFL three-peat, never been done before in the Super Bowl era. They have a chance to be the first to do it. How does that look? What is their first performance in this journey, in this quest look like? Till someone beats them, they're the champs. Can the Texans do it? I just don't see it happening. And for it to take place, what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to stay away from the mistakes, right? They made mistakes last week. They got away with it because the Chargers weren't good enough to take advantage. Well, you're not playing the Chargers, and Mahomes isn't throwing 4 picks, and he's not throwing 2 pick sixes or a pick six and a damn near another pick six. He's not doing that, right? You got to play a damn near perfect brand of football. And that was far from it last week. And so if you're the Texans, you can't turn it over. You're going to have to convert on third downs. You're going to have to finish in the red zone. You can't miss field goals, right? You may even have to take a chance and go for it on a 4th down or 2. When it's all said and done, the Chiefs are the superior team here. I got them winning this game, 26-13 and advancing to the AFC Championship game. Well, they'll await the winner of Bills-Ravens. We'll talk about that game in a bit, but we're going to continue in the order of the games in which they will be played. And so the next game on Saturday is a doozy. I think it has a chance to be the second best game, if not the best game of divisional round weekend. But without question, it's going to be one of the better games of the weekend. Now, Vegas suggests otherwise. I mean, the Commanders are a 9.5, 10-point underdog, depending on what book you're looking at. But make no mistake about it, they are unfazed by the moment. Commanders, your 6th seed and the only wild card team to advance in the entire postseason this year, travels to Detroit to take on the 1-seeded Detroit Lions. This game is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a game in which you have 2 teams that are very similar in nature, aggressive on 4th downs, can score with the best of them. Don't use their punters all that often, but when they do, their punters are highly effective. Defenses aren't all that great on either side. One's a little bit more aggressive than the other, but the biggest difference between the two is quarterback for the Commanders and the run game of the Detroit Lions. That is where this game potentially could be won. And when you look at the Commanders, similar to the Texans, who are also a big, underdog in their game against Kansas City, you got to play a damn near perfect game. And the Commanders did that last week. They weren't as effective in the red zone as you would like them to be, but they did not punt a week ago. They did not turn the football over a week ago. They were over 40% on third downs. They were they were at 60% on 4th downs, going for it 5 times, converting 3 of them, including 2 leading to touchdowns. So they're going to have to roll the dice. They're going to have to be clean. They got to stay away from the penalties, stay out of 3rd and long. They got to take advantage of opportunities. That ball hit the ground against Tampa Bay. They recovered it. If that happens in this game, if a Jared Goff offering is in range of being picked off, you got to have it, right? If you're going to pull the major upset and shock the world, you're going to have to make the plays that are there to be made. And conversely, if you're Detroit, you just play your brand of football, right? Continue to be aggressive defensively. You're going to continue to throttle, foot to the gas on offense, right? You'll pull out all the stops. You've had an extra week to prepare, so you got a couple of trick plays up your sleeve. You're going to continue to run the ball like crazy. This is a really porous Washington Commanders run defense, so you're going to attack them on the ground. If you can minimize Jared Goff's impact in this game by running the hell out of the football, do it, right? But if Goff has to be a big part of this game, if you can protect him, and the Lions have been able to do that pretty much the entire season, and the Commanders don't get a ton of pass rush, he can be highly effective against this Commanders defense. So 4th down is going to be big for both teams. Both teams aren't shy about going for it on 4th down. Commanders are the best in the NFL. The Lions are the most aggressive in the NFL. When it's all said and done, I think this game's going to come down to late game execution. Lions are going to miss an extra point. Commanders are going to get the football, and Jaden Daniels, his legend continues to grow as he takes them down the field and scores on another last-minute touchdown to give the Commanders a 27-26 victory over the Lions in a thriller to send them to the NFC Championship game. Storylines from this game: if the Commanders win, Jaden Daniels will cement himself as the greatest rookie quarterback in NFL history, and then he will also throw himself into the mix as one of the best quarterbacks. He's already there, if you ask me. And you talk to people, you listen to people talk, he's already top 5 in the NFL. I've said that already. He doesn't need this game to solidify that. But if you win this game, we might be jumping over some people. You know what I'm saying? It gets to that type of extreme. Now, who you're taking him over, that's debatable, and that's for another conversation. But, he's already penetrated the top 5. You win this game, and we start having crazy conversations. All right, where is he at in the NFL right now, right? Now we start figuring out, is he right behind Mahomes, Allen, and Jackson? Is he ahead of Burrow now? Again, pump the brakes. Got to win this game first, and then we can start having those crazy conversations. But he's already top 5, and he's already the greatest rookie quarterback we've ever seen. You win this game, he goes into a different stratosphere. For the Lions, it's a massive game. Big storyline here is, if you don't get it done, you're probably going to lose both your coordinators. And Jared Goff could turn back into a pumpkin without Ben Johnson. Your defense, which was decimated by injuries, but still was able to overcome that because of the play calling and aggressive nature of Aaron Glenn, they could go back to being, a sieve and one of the, problematic areas of this team, which they were a year ago. And all of a sudden, where are the Lions in all of this? Where are the Lions in the NFC? A lot of question marks after this season. And if you don't get a trip to the Super Bowl out of all of this, you got the hottest offensive coordinator, one of the hottest defensive coordinators. You've got a team that has been knocking on the door of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. You got the number 1 seed. You got a chance to host the NFC Championship game for the first time in franchise history. If you can't get it done this year, I don't know if you're going to get it done. So that's the storyline there. You go to Sunday, and Eagles-Rams. The Rams are your 4 seed. The Eagles are your 2 seed. I just don't see how the Rams win this football game. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I can see a path to that taking place, but when I look at the 2 teams and how they match up, I just think the Eagles are the worst type of matchup for the Rams. One, the Rams don't deal well with mobile quarterbacks. It's why they struggle with Arizona every year. They don't deal well with quarterbacks that can move. That's why they struggle with teams like the Ravens, and that's why I don't think they really wanted to play. They were too interested in playing the Commanders. They don't deal well with mobile quarterbacks. They're a physical power rush type of team, right? Jarrett Verse isn't a finesse speed rush guy. He's a Khalil Mack power rush type of edge rusher. So when you put that together, now they've got some athletic guys on the interior that can get after it. But when you look at how they're built, they're a physical team. They're not the most athletically gifted team. And so I think it's at a disadvantage when you're playing against an Eagles front that's big and physical, that can push them around. They weren't able to stop Saquon Barkley for 4 quarters the last time these two teams met. The Eagles are aggressive defensively. They get after the football. Kyron Williams has a problem securing the football. He's one of the most fumbling backs in football. And I could see him putting it on the carpet once or twice in this game. The last time these two teams met, I think he fumbled in that game, if I'm not mistaken, on that opening drive where they were moving the football. Somebody fumbled, and the Eagles recovered. It was an impressive opening drive, and the game was never the same after that. I can see the Eagles attacking the football. I also can see the Eagles getting after Matthew Stafford. He's not a mobile quarterback at this juncture of his career. And the Eagles' pass rush has been coming to life. Nolan Smith has been fantastic here of late. We know what Jalen Carter is. Zach Bond is flying around making plays. That secondary is really good. I think if they can give Stafford time, they got weapons. Tyler Higbee's back. He didn't play in the first game between these two teams. You still have Nakua and Kupp. You got a guy that is really underrated in Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell. You have weapons to get the ball to that could create mismatches against the Eagles secondary. But can you give Stafford the adequate time he needs? Can Kyron Williams be a factor in this game? Can you run the ball, stay out of 3rd and long? That sort of thing. I just don't know if they can do that consistently for 4 quarters. Meanwhile, offensively, I think the Eagles have the mobility of Jalen Hurts, have the run game with Saquon Barkley. That'll open up things for the pass game. You got Witherspoon coming off of a thigh injury. He's not 100%. He's going to give it a go. I just think that the Eagles will be too much for the Rams in this game. Storylines out of this game. If the Rams somehow win this game, we got to talk about Sean McVay as one of the best coaches in football. Like they have no business winning this football game. None whatsoever. They should not be in the NFC Championship. This is not an NFC Championship caliber team. But if they make it, then you got to look at what he did in the final week of the season is a chess move. That's pure genius. To set yourself up for a matchup against either the Lions or the Vikings, which they probably knew the Vikings were going to lose that game, knowing that you had already beat them, knowing that you matched up well with them, took care of them, found your way. And now they couldn't have known what was going to happen, right, in the wild card weekend, as far as, would Washington win, would Green Bay win, et cetera, et cetera. But they're like, we'll roll the dice knowing that either we were going to have to play Minnesota or Detroit. And if we got to go to Detroit, we knew we were comfortable with that either way, right? If they were coming to us or we were going to them, we were comfortable playing Detroit in the first place. So they get to the championship game. We got to start looking at, I already think he's a hell of a coach, but you got to start looking at him in a different light. He drags this team to the NFC Championship game. As far as the Eagles are concerned, this is one of those seasons where they felt like a good team, never dominant, but really good. And if they can win this game, get to the NFC Championship game, that defense is as good as any that's left in the tournament, and they're going to have a shot. And again, it looks like change is coming for them again. And how many years can you keep doing this and find yourself in this position? Kellen Moore may be gone, right? Vic Fangio isn't going anywhere, so that's a good thing. But how many years can you keep this up, right? Where you're playing at this high of a level, being in this position with changes all around. Saquon Barkley coming off of this crazy year, 2,000 yards. You can't be assured that he's going to play all, 16 out of the 17 games, right? You can't be assured of that. He's going to stay healthy. So you can't take this for granted if you're Philadelphia. You got a shot to win another Super Bowl. You've been dominant here. This could be a chance for you to get to the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 years. You got to take advantage of it. You missed this opportunity. And again, we got to start asking questions about, is Nick Sirianni the right man for the job? We got to go through that whole song and dance again. So we'll see what happens. And then, you lose this game to the Rams, and then a Jalen Hurts conversation might start to arise. Like, how good is he, right? I just don't see that happening. I got the Eagles winning this game comfortably, 29-10. Like, I just don't even think this game's going to be close. All right. And then finally, last game, which I think is going to be the best game of the divisional round. You've got the Bills and the Ravens locking horns. You've got the two MVP candidates going head to head, and there's storyline galore here. I mean, the biggest storyline is right in your face. It's the biggest storyline of divisional round weekend, as far as I'm concerned, and that's who can break through first. And one of these dudes are going home, right? I mean, Mahomes, he's got to be so ecstatic that that one seed netted him an opportunity to not have to do the thing that he had to do last year. He had to go through the full gauntlet last year, had to beat Allen and Jackson both on the road last year. He's like, I don't want to have to do that shit again. Well, he only has to take care of one of them. Whomever wins this game is going to have to more likely than not go through both Jackson and or Allen and Mahomes, right? So it's the story of the 2018 quarterbacks. These two are forever linked because they're in that same draft class. Jackson has had ample opportunities to break through. I thought last year was his best opportunity. He's been the one seed twice in his career. Coincidentally enough, both years he won league MVP. He may win it a third time this year, and he didn't get it done in either one of those years. Got eliminated in 2019 when he won the MVP by the Titans in the divisional round coming off the bye, and then got eliminated last year in the championship game. First time Lamar made an appearance in the championship game to, of course, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Meanwhile, Josh Allen has only been to the AFC championship game once. That was in his second time in the postseason. Went to the AFC championship game on the road against Kansas City. Didn't get it done. Hasn't been back to the championship game since. This is his best opportunity since that trip to get back there as the 2 seed. You got to take advantage. The last time they were in this position, they played the Bengals and they lost back in 2022. And so if you're the Bills, you have to take advantage of this opportunity, right? This is a big game for both quarterbacks and their legacy. Somebody's going to get a chance to play for the right to go to Super Bowl 50, what we 8 now? 58, 59, whatever number. Somebody's going to get an opportunity to play for a trip to New Orleans to hoist the Lombardi, right? And somebody's going home. And when I look at these two teams, Buffalo's at home. They're equipped to deal with the cold weather. Not that Baltimore is not. I think this iteration of the Ravens is much better equipped to deal with the elements, with Derrick Henry, with the ability to run the football, et cetera, et cetera. I just see them being in a better spot this year. But Buffalo has Josh Allen, who right now I feel like is on a mission. I felt like that all season long. I've been feeling like them getting rid of Stephon Diggs and some of the veterans on the defensive side and them really turning the team over to him and saying, hey, this is your squad. Make it happen. He's just been a different guy this year. Kind of played with a sense of, like a freeness, right? Now I don't have to worry about a receiver being disgruntled because he's not getting the football. I just go out and play ball and distribute it to whoever is open or whoever I like or whoever I think is the best option here. And he's not turning it over as much. He's making game-winning plays when they have to be made. I felt like the Ravens have been a good team this year, but they're very beatable. I still feel like they are a team that I just feel like something's missing with them. Defensively, they're okay. They're not great. Offensively, they're dynamic with Lamar and Derrick Henry, but no Zay Flowers is a big effing deal in this game. It wasn't a big deal last week because you were playing a team that couldn't score in the Pittsburgh Steelers. This week, no Zay Flowers could mean you can't score 30 points, and it may take 30 to beat Buffalo at home, right? So it'll be interesting to see if Lamar can do the things that he's done all season long. He's taking care of the ball, 41 touchdowns through the air, another like 7 on the ground, accounted for like 48, 49 touchdowns, only, 4 interceptions. And he's just been this dynamic, prolific passer from the pocket. He's given them everything you could ask for and then some, but now they need it all in the postseason. He really was a passenger the last game against Steelers. He was allowed to be. I don't think he can be a passenger in this game. He's gonna have to show up and show out. And when his best has been required in the postseason, he hasn't showed up. Will Lamar Jackson, I think he's ready to lay it all on the line. I think that pep talk he had with his mom after the Eagles lost, where he had opportunities to run and he didn't, kind of changed his whole outset. Like he was running it last week. And I think he's ready to run it 17 times in this game if he has to. That said, man, this is going to be a good one. And it's like pulling teeth having to make a decision here, but I don't know if Rashad Bateman and the tight ends are enough. They had Zay Flowers. I think I'd be leaning Ravens here. But because there's no Zay Flowers in this game, I don't know if they have enough. If they can get Derrick Henry going on the ground, and that'll open up the tight ends, and that'll open up, space for, Bateman to operate, because they have to then respect the run game. Lamar might be able to conquer these Bills, but Bills at home, Josh Allen. I mean, how many more of these opportunities you want at the crib and not get it done, right? You lost to the Chiefs last year in the divisional round. You lost to the Bengals the year before. How many more of these you want? How many more of these you want at the crib before we don't look at you as a threat? You got to take care of home. This is why you won the number 2 seed. And going to places like Detroit and winning, give me confidence that they can stand 10 toes down at home and defend Orchard Park and get it done. I've got the Bills in this one. This one's going to be a good one, man. I got the Bills in this one, 27-24. Give me the Bills. Late field goal by Tyler Bass to win it for Buffalo. You already know the storyline. I said it at the beginning. It's Lamar. It's Josh Allen. Who's going to break through first? It's going to be one of these two quarterbacks that takes down Mahomes, if somebody's going to do it. In the AFC, obviously. Which one of them is it? All right. Let's get to the comment section, and then we'll get out of here. Blake Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, sucks you had to cancel the watch party. I was late to buy them. I just emailed you. Hope you have one next week after the Lions dub. Hashtag HTTC. Hashtag Super Bowl bound. Appreciate you. Yeah, we had to cancel. For those of you who are unaware, we canceled the watch party. We just didn't have enough support. And a lot of that is our fault, right? We had things that needed to take place on our end that didn't. And so we had to scrap it, but there'll be more. This isn't the last time we're going to do something like that. So I appreciate the support, Blake. Rosario Satara Poleski, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, LT, I'm releasing my first video promoting the book in a few weeks. I even made a studio like you did. Thanks for the sports commentary. Man, I appreciate you for this ride, Russ. We've been at it for a long time, and I just love your growth, and I love to see how you've continued to just push forward. You've had some, things happen in your life, and, I know some of the things that you're going through, but you've continued to persevere, man. And so big shout out to you, and I'm looking forward to all the big things that you continue to do in the future, man. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Captain Obvious, writes, if we repeatedly get to golf, we stay in the offs. True or false? If we stop the run and repeatedly, I think I got to make, because you could get to golf, but if they're running the ball with maximum efficiency, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Unless he's throwing it to the other team when he does have an opportunity, or he's fumbling. So true or false? It's true, but you have to add in the piece about stopping the run. That's super important. Super important. So got to stop the run if you want to have fun, right? Got to stop the run first. So That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on this installment of the Louie T Network podcast. I told you guys it was going to be a quick, abbreviated episode. Just wanted to get on the board with my picks, talk about some storylines with these games, and looking forward to chopping it up with you guys this weekend, breaking down each and every single one of these contests. Until next time, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm your man Louie T, signing off. You guys have a good one. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless. Good night.